This means that you have the ability, the strong ability to transcend all the chaos and negativity and crap that goes on in this world. You have the ability to transcend that and be unaffected. You have that ability. This is a message of your power, remembering your power. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mystic Temple, Spirituality for a New Age. I'm Monica Bay, also known as the Divine Mother, and I am here to bring you truth. All right, so before we get started today, I want to make a wonderful announcement. I'm super excited about the Global Awakening Initiative. So we are getting that off the ground right now. Okay, so there will be more announcements coming along, but as you guys, some of you already know, the Global Awakening Initiative is about really spreading this even more. We're already obviously on a global TV network, so we're already spreading pretty far, but we are also now in about to approach phase 2, okay? Phase 2 of the Global Awakening Initiative is all about putting boots on the ground, okay? So we are about to spread out the word on the ground with street teams, really getting the word out there, also making change, spreading light. So the people who are going to be heading these street teams are going to be our light guardians who were divinely chosen by the divine collective consciousness. So starting off, we are in Mexico, we are in Virginia, we are in Michigan, and we are in Oklahoma, okay? And we are going to spread out from there, but we're starting there. So we're going to let you guys know more about that information as we move on, but you can actually read more about it at mystictemple.org, and I'll put that link right here so you can see it. So go there and read all about the Global Awakening Initiative and learn more about how you can also get involved, because that's what we have to do. We have to really spread this word. We have to spread this light, is what we're spreading the truth about your light and about everyone's light. And also, I just want to say how excited I am that our first open circle went amazing. We had a lot of people very interested in what we're talking about, and very interested in the prophecy, and we went deeper into that prophecy. It was recorded. So if anyone would like to see that and you are not a member of our Facebook group, make sure you join the Mystic Temple Facebook group, and you can go and watch the first open circle and make sure that you can be a part of future open circles. We have it every month, the second Sunday of every month. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. So we are on November 15th, 2015 still, and this passage is deep. It's got layers and layers and layers. This one's a little longer, but I had to keep it all together in one divinity session because it all comes together and it's just a lot. So so it is as follows. So important is your path that it must be seized. It all works together in this intricate maze of destruction, chaos, rebuilding, and rebirth. It must be done to save our world. The world exists in our minds and senses, but more exists outside of what we can sense. This maze was built for us and despite us. It is parallel to true reality. Our true selves lie outside this world, on the other side, awaiting our return and accomplishments, our contributions to this maze, to the game. Neither can we sit nor ignore the plight onto which we have been born on this plane. It is time to uncover all, exposed for us to see. And wow, that was definitely a lot. So this one is layered and layered and layered with meanings. So I'm going to break it all down for you as always. So I'm going to first start with the first sentence, which said, so important is our path that it must be seized. It all works together in an intricate maze of destruction, chaos, rebuilding, and rebirth. So this is really talking about how our path and our purpose and our lives don't just affect us. It's really part of the grander scheme of things. And a lot of times we in our state of being in this physical existence think that what we do is only affects us, what we do. And we know obviously in our physical world we know that there is a domino effect of things and there's an interconnectedness, right? but still we fail to realize the grander scheme of things. And that's what they're talking about here, is the grander scheme of things, that this intricate maze that we're a part of, that we're going through, everything that we do, maybe not every single thing that we do, but our path and our purpose and our life, okay, is a part of this bigger intricate maze, this bigger intricate web of connectivity and design. And this is something that is really important to understand, because it makes you realize how important it is that your path. It said, so important is your path that it must be seized, because understand that you are a puzzle piece in a grander picture. You are a thread in a bigger tapestry. And so when we realize that, then we can begin to move a little differently and not be so self absorbed, not be so stuck in the ills of this worldly plane. And it even talks more about that as it goes along. But I think the biggest part of this passage that stands out to me is where it says the world exists in our mind and our senses, but more exists outside of what we can sense. This is really alluding to the fact that this is an illusion, which is something that many, many spiritual paths for thousands of years have been talking about. And this is truth, that this is an illusion. The world that we experience through our senses is an illusion. And even physics is starting to prove some of that. But what we're talking about here is the fact that the world that we live in, the world that we move and exist in, right? What we see in front of us, what we experience in our lives as things that we think are so, so important, is all an illusion. And there's a bigger, grander scheme of a world. The true world, it says, lives outside of here, lives outside of what we can see and sense. And so the truth that this is bringing us is the fact that our world that we experience and move through is an illusion, and it's not everything that we think it is. It is not the bigger thing. And this is the test. This is the test of the human experience. And we've talked about this in previous divinity sessions. This is the test of the human experience. Can you move through this world, this illusion, without getting stuck in it? Can you move through this world without getting distracted from your main purpose? So important is your purpose, it must be seized. And this is what they're referring to. And again, one of the major goals is enlightenment. And what is enlightenment in this context? Enlightenment is the transcendence of that illusionary field, the transcendence of this illusion into the true world, as this passage says. The true world exists outside of our senses. The illusion is within our senses, because we are stuck in these human bodies, and we have senses, we have sight, we have sound, we have touch, we have all of these things, right? But outside of this, that we cannot see, that we cannot sense, that is the goal for enlightenment, is to transcend that into the real perception of the true world. And in order to do that, you need to dive into your spirituality. You need to be able to dive deep within. You need to be able to connect. You need to be able to transcend your senses. How do we do that? Through meditation, through spiritual self discovery, through connecting outside of this realm, understanding that there is more than what we can see, sense, and touch. This is the test of humanity. This is the test of this human existence. It's the test of this illusionary world. Can we move through it without getting caught in it? And most of you are getting caught in it. And hopefully, now that you've been watching Mystic Temple for hopefully at least today's Divinity session number 11, so hopefully you've been watching it for at least 11 weeks, okay? And those of you who are catching up, hopefully you are starting to see these things. Hopefully you are starting to take that journey, taking those first steps towards that ascension, because that is what we're here for, is to ascend. And it's part of a maze, and it calls it a game. And and interestingly enough, I made an analogy, I think it was in the last divinity session or the one before that, about it being kind of analogous to a video game. If you don't complete a level, you come back into the video game, you're at that same level, and you got to complete it again, right? Basically, what I'm saying is the goal of this game, of this maze, of this life, of this illusionary existence, is to recognize that you are in a illusionary existence, right? The goal is to become lucid in the experience. Ooh, yes. Become lucid in the experience. That is enlightenment. That is enlightenment. And this is what we strive for. When we reach enlightenment, everything changes. And this is what I talk about when I say pulling people out of the matrix, right? Because the matrix is just like the movie, it is an illusionary world. It is an illusionary world. And that is reality. That is our reality, our perceptual reality. Now, understand that there are many realities through our senses, right? And when we talk about being able to manifest our own reality, we're referring to this illusionary reality that we're moving through. We have the ability because it's an illusion. It is not like the true world. The true world is unchanging. This world changes all the time because we have the ability to change it. We are here, we are players in this game, and we have the ability to wield our power. We have the ability to really change everything in this game. It's malleable, it's moldable. Why? Because it's all illusionary to begin with. And this is not only a message of empowerment at this point, it's also a message to really understand why it is important to focus elsewhere, to not focus on so many things. Yes, we're in this world and we are here to experience this human experience, and we should be molding our reality. We should be doing all those things, but we should not be getting caught in the distractions and the ills of the worldly plane, like a previous passage said. We should not be getting caught in all of that. And unfortunately, a lot of us get caught. We get caught up thinking this is important, thinking that's important, and not realizing we are focusing on the wrong things and we are missing the point. And what's going to happen is game over. Now we got to go back in and we stay at the same level because we never finished the previous level. Okay. So we need to ascend. We need to ascend. And this is a part of our soul's journey, but not only our soul's journey, this passage really explains the tapestry that we're all a part of and why our individual piece of life is important to the grander scheme of things. So important is your path that it must be seized. And another part that's really important, that really drives all of this home, I'm going to read it again, is our true selves lie outside this world, on the other side, awaiting our return and accomplishments, our contributions to this maze, the game. What this is talking about is really, this is kind of an aha moment for, for a lot of you. This is talking about there is a piece of us. You know, we come from the light, we are the light. There is a piece of us here in this body. There's a piece of me right now in my body, right? There's another piece of me that I'm connected to, this light that is just light outside of this illusionary world that is waiting for this piece, my soul, to return to it with the accomplishments. This is talking about the journey of the soul. This is talking about why we're here. This is talking about the evolution of how our individual lives affect the future of our soul. And it's thread in the bigger tapestry. So hopefully you guys all got that. You know, I'm sprinkling some gems there. Are you picking up what I'm dropping down? Okay. So what I'm saying is that, you know, this is so much bigger than us. And a lot of times also we think that it's just us here in this body, and then we leave and then we move on. There's another part of us awaiting our return. Another part of us awaiting our return. A piece of the force. That was what the first passage of the Book of Rasheeda said. A piece of the force. We are a piece of the force. That force is waiting for us to come back with our accomplishments. What have we achieved in this life? What have we done? Have we actually achieved our purpose? Did we play around? Did we get caught up in the world? What did we do? We're bringing that back. And it's either going to be disappointed or not. So what are you doing in your life? I've asked you guys that many times. What are you doing in your life? And what are you focusing on? Because this clearly here is really showing you why it's important. We've talked a lot about distractions in previous sessions, in previous passages. And it's kind of all building up to a deeper and deeper and deeper understanding of the why. Because the what is always great to understand, to know the what, right? What we're supposed to be doing, but why? I'm a person, I like to know why. I don't know about you guys. I like to know why. This passage is really starting. And there's more as we move on into the Book of Rasheeda, but this passage is really starting to dive deeper into that why, so you can really understand what's really going on outside of this illusionary world that we're in, outside of everything that we think is important. So, again, not getting caught in the distractions, focusing on your spirituality. This is why spirituality is so important in this world that we're in this life. This is why spirituality is important, because it affects the grander scheme. It is the point. It is the point. And while we're in this game, yeah, we can play around. We can manifest. We can create a beautiful life. We can do what we want. We can mold the reality because it's all illusionary and fluid. We can do that. But at the same time, again, duality, we are physical beings here in this illusion, and we are also spiritual beings. And the spiritual part is the point. The spiritual part is the biggest point. But it's the spiritual part moving through this physical illusion that is the challenge. That is the challenge. And then the last part says, neither can we sit nor ignore the plight onto which we have been born on this plane. It is time to uncover all exposed for us to see. What they're referring to in terms of neither can we sit or ignore the plight onto which we have been born onto this plane, the plight, they're referring to human suffering, but at the same time, they're also referring to the responsibility that we have with this life. We have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to go through and and keep our soul contracts. We have a responsibility to go through and follow our path. We have a responsibility to achieve our purpose. There is a responsibility. That is the plight. That is part of the plight that we receive when we come onto this plane. And so, again, the important thing is for you to actually move forward and do that. And for those of you, I understand it is sometimes very difficult to and confusing for a lot of people to understand what their purpose is. But no, just like I said last time, the universe will always provide. You don't always have to know exactly what your purpose is, but all you have to do is listen. All you have to do is listen and move along the path, and you will get to your destination because the end will be had, is what the last passage said. The end will be had if you follow the path. If you don't follow the path, the end might not be had. The end will eventually be had in another lifetime, like it said in the last passage, in this lifetime or the next, right? So the end will eventually be had, but will it be had in this lifetime? Will you return to the other piece of you, the piece that's waiting for you to return? Will you return to your true self with accomplishments? Will you return to your true self with, hey, this is what we're moving forward with now. Let's go into the next thing, right? Or will you come back like, okay, I guess we gotta repeat that. Right? And again, what you do affects the grander scheme because we are not in this alone. We are not in this alone. We are all an interconnected web of energy, of light, of source, of force. Everything that happens here affects other planes. And it says in the Book of Rasheeda, in this passage, that the true world is a parallel to ours. They're referring to dimensions. They're referring to multiple universes, multiple realities. But the true reality, which is the unchanging reality outside of our own limited human perception and perspective, that is where the true world lies. And it is a separate dimension from here because this dimension is an illusionary one that we're in right now. So understand, just because the world is illusionary, that doesn't mean that nothing matters here. Because again, what we're talking about is that everything does affect the grander scheme of things. We're talking about this web, right? So a lot of things that happen in this world that we focus on don't actually matter, but our interconnectedness with other beings on this in this world, our recognition once you start to ascend this matrix, once you start to ascend this illusionary world and start to recognize and see the true world, then you realize we are all one. We are all one. Every single soul that is in every single body in this in this world. We are all actually one because we all come from the light. And this is about unity. This is about compassion. This is about peace and love. Not that there's always peace and love. We know that that doesn't exist because that's why we have the duality in this world. That is part of the challenge of this world as well. But understand that even that is an illusion. Even that is an illusion. And when we get caught up in that illusion, this is when we have all these crazy things happening in the world, right? When we get caught up in that illusion and we say, you're of a different race, you're short, you're tall, you're what, however we want to separate people, however we want to separate people into their physical or even emotional or random, whatever kind of categories we want to put people in. At the end of the day, we are all one. We are all one. Why? Because the light that flows through you is the same light that flows through me. The light that flows through us is the same light that flows through that person over there. And it is the same energy source that comes and manifests in different illusionary physical forms on this planet. Okay? So this is why we are all one. And when we get caught up in the ills of this worldly plane, in the nonsense that happens, in the separatism that is created sometimes purposely in this world, this is when we get distracted. This is when we get disconnected from our light. This is when we get so far into the matrix that we don't realize that there's more outside of it. And again, that is ascending. That is enlightenment, becoming lucid in the illusion. And what I want you to walk away with today is the realization of this illusion, the realization that you are here to transcend this illusion and be empowered to know that when you tap into yourself and you really start getting into your spiritual practices, such as the everything that the Book of Rasheeda is teaching us, if you start to really tap into these things, you can begin to transcend and you begin to see the world in a completely different way. And some of you are already on that journey and some of you are just beginning. It doesn't matter where you are as long as you continue to go down this path, or up this path rather, because we are ascending. Okay, that's what we're doing. We are a rocket ship. Okay, and so understand that with this knowledge, really using it to question the things that your senses are telling you. A lot of times, and this is where, like, say, psychic ability, I'm just going to use an example where psychic ability comes into play, right? So you may receive you can call it whatever you want. Psychic ability is simply intuition and the ability to receive and to interpret those messages that are received. So when you receive a message, there may not be anything right in front of you that corroborates with that message. There may be something you receive and it doesn't make any sense to you at all because you can't see it with your senses, because all you can see is what you can see. What you can see, sense, hear, taste, think about, whatever, right? Your senses. Outside of that, you can't perceive that. When you receive a message, right? Sometimes you get those messages, and because you can't perceive it, because it doesn't make sense to you, you throw it away. But if you follow that, it makes perfect sense. Everything makes perfect sense. And you start to see those things actually happening. You start to see that that message was correct. So questioning your senses, but at the same time, having faith in what you receive and perceive outside of your senses. And this is part of the test. And what they're telling us to do is starting to tap in more, tapping out more, tapping in more, right? Really being able to go beyond that. But the first step is to recognize the illusion. You cannot move outside of the illusion if you are not aware you are in an illusion. And when I say aware, I'm referring to on a larger scale, really, really understanding that you're in illusion on a deeper level than just, okay, I've heard of that before, we're in illusion. Really, really understanding what does that actually mean? Because it's deep, okay? It's really deep. So what does that actually mean to everything that I'm focusing on in my life right now? What does that actually mean to for as far as where I'm going and what my goals are right now? Where is my attention right now? Where is my time being spent right now? What does that actually mean for you in your life as it relates to your purpose? And again, if you don't understand your purpose, all you have to do, you have all the answers in here. All the answers are in here. You need to tap in. And I always tell you guys, meditation is the number one thing to do to change your life is meditate. Why? Because meditation opens you up. There's so many benefits to meditation. It opens you up and it begins to allow you to tap in. It helps. It is a tool. And so when you start to meditate or any other way that you have personally on your journey of tapping in, tap in and you can get all those answers. They're right there. They're in you already. So if you are confused about what your purpose is, that means you are not connected. So you need to start working towards connecting because once you are fully connected, not even fully connected, once you are even half connected, you will start to realize and feel guided towards your purpose. But do not question what you receive because the questioning is your conscious mind and your illusionary senses that are saying, I can't believe that. No, is it maybe I just made that up, maybe whatever. Don't question it. When you receive from tuning in, it is truth. It is truth. And what your purpose is something, by the way, your purpose is something that it will light you up inside because it's inherent to your personality. It's inherent to your soul. Your soul will light up inside as soon as you think about it. That will also tell you, and sometimes your purpose will scare you if it's big. Sometimes your purpose will scare you. That happens a lot, and it's very, very common. So don't shy away because it scares you, because it is natural as human beings for us to fear what we don't understand, and also for us to fear um, our own greatness. And as we step into a level like, oh my God, it's about to happen, this is crazy, or I can't see myself being that, or whatever. So understand that your purpose must be had, your purpose must be seized. So no matter what you have to do to get there, you need to get there. Because again, this affects the grander scheme. You need to make sure when you go back to your truest self, you have something to report. You have accomplishments that you're taking with you. That's what you need to make sure that you're doing. And this isn't just about the afterlife. This isn't just about after you're done here. This is about while you're here as well. There are many levels to your purpose. There is a purpose in terms of your impact on this world while you're here, and there's also a grander purpose, which we're talking about right now, with your soul's journey, with what you're here to accomplish. So understand that both are very, very important. And you are here to achieve something. You have greatness in you and you have that light in you. You are that light. And this is also a message of empowerment and hope. The fact that all of this is true, this means that you have the ability, the strong ability to transcend all the chaos and negativity and crap that goes on in this world. You have the ability to transcend that and be unaffected. You have that ability. This is a message of your power, remembering your power, the fact that this world is malleable. You have the ability, and we talked about spiritual gifts before and manifesting your reality before. This is truth. This is part of the truth of this world, of this maze, of this game. And this, once you start to reach that level, those levels of ascension, you start to get plucked out of the matrix. You can begin to really be awake and you can begin to really transcend the illusions of this world and really mold even more your life here. Mold your life completely here once you reach those levels. And also understanding that the chaos, destruction, rebuilding, and rebirth that this passage talks about. You have the ability to transcend these things and understand that everything is an intricate plan. Understand that you have a purpose. Understand that we are all interconnected. We are all here for really the same purpose in different aspects. And we are all moving as one. We're all moving as one. Remember, the illusion of separation is part of the illusion of this world, that we are separate from each other, that we are separate from everything. We are solitary beings. That's not true. It's not true at all. It's the same light that flows through everything. So Transcending this illusion brings you freedom. It brings you power. It brings you strength. Remember that. And now I'm going to speak life, love, positivity, and awakening within all of you today. All right. Using the divine language. Okay. Weto kalisi. Weto kalisi vectusos. Weto kalisi. Weto kalishi poishna. Ishna kalisi. Ishna kalisi. Ishna kal. Ishna kalisi. Ishna kal. Ishna kalisi. Ishna kal. Weto kalisi. Weto kalisi. Weto kalisi. Weto icho. Weto icho kalisi. Weto icho kalisi. Weto icho kalisi. Weto icho kalisi. Vectusos. Otimbi. Otimbi. Evumasti ombisos. Evumasti ombisos. Evumasti ombisos weto kalisi. Weto kalisi. Weto kalisi eshna popo eshnasha. Weto kalisi eshna popo eshnasha. Ishna. Ishna. Ishnaki. 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 Eshna popo eshnasha. Eshna popo eshnasha. And now I will end with the divine prayer, which essentially means peace be unto you. Zor Kunti. And I'll see you next time. Also, if you would like to learn more about Mystic Temple, what we're all about, what we're teaching, and you also want to see a copy of the Book of Rasheeda, you can find that at mystictemple.org.
I'm gonna make my mark, I'm gonna leave my trace, I'll let this world forget my face. Oh, I've got a fire burn deep inside my soul. It tells me to continue to move, continue to grow. I'm here to make a difference. Oh, I'm gonna leave my mark, let the world know I won't be forgotten. Oh, I've got a touch heart's gonna make it last. I'm unforgettable, yeah, yeah. Unforgettable, yeah, yeah. I'm unforgettable, yeah, yeah. I'm unforgettable. Oh, I'm here to make a difference, leave my mark on this world. I won't be forgotten, no. I'm gonna touch a trust. Yeah. You will remember me. Oh, I'm gonna leave my mark, let the world know I won't be forgotten. Oh, I got a touch, heart's gonna make it last. You will